What's up guys, David here and welcome to the Fit Pro Daily. This week is all about building habits for success within your business and outside of your business. And we're going to start this week off with guest interview Juli Colotti coming on to share her experience and how she's managed to read one particular book to really install some amazing habits to really help fill her studio. But before we do dive into today's guest interview, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel just yet, press pause and press subscribe. And we'd also love you to come join us inside our group on Facebook. In here, we share even more tips, even more value, give you loads of free guides and templates and everything like that. Click the link in description or simply search Fit Pro Lead Gen with Dave on Facebook and request to join. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's guest interview. Today we have Juli Colotti, all the way from the US of A, joining us. We're going to talk about something different, something that we don't usually cover, which is habits, how we can implement things, I'm guessing, that make us more driven, more focused. Is that the type of thing we're going to talk about today?
Yep. How to use habits to build a routine to be more successful and profitable.
Nice. Okay, so before we dive into it, how did you yourself get started in the fitness industry?
I have been in the fitness industry for 11, 12 years now. I went to college for it. So I have a bachelor's in exercise science and master's in kinesiology. I've been into sports my entire life. I was raised by a bunch of uncles and my father and grandfather. So, I was playing baseball and soccer the second I could walk. So I've really just been into fitness and exercise since I was a young kid. And then I found out that I can make a career out of it. So, the whole goal is to do something that you love. So here I am.
Nice. Okay. So where are you now then? Tell us a little bit more about your fitness business. What is it you run and stuff?
So I am located in Kingston, New York. So we're about 90 minutes north of New York City. On a good day, we can see the New York City skyline from one of our mountains that we have here that you can hike. So we're in a very nice spot. It's considered the Hudson Valley. And I own a personal training studio. We do some one-on-one training, but not very much. We are mostly a small group training facility, and then we do large group classes also. So we do the semi-private training in a group setting, and then the large group classes.
Well, is it just you? Have you got a team? Roughly how many clients you got? What kind of?
Right now we're at about 115 clients, and
Nice.
it's me, and I have 3 other trainers, an admin, and an assistant.
So busy all the time. So I'm guessing habits and the things we're going to talk about today is going to be crucial to not only you growing the business, but managing staff and managing clients and all this type of stuff then.
Yes, and living a happy life outside of business, because that is important too. As business owners, sometimes we just think about our business, and our business becomes our life, but there's a lot more to life than our business, and how to live a life outside of your business.
Cool. So habits to create a more successful, better working, more enjoyable business. What does habit actually mean for those of us who are a little bit confused about what this topic is about then?
So habits are pretty much the easiest way to explain about it is something you do every day.
Mm.
As simple as waking up in the morning and grabbing your phone for the first thing is a habit. So, getting up and brushing your teeth, then getting in the shower, that's all habits that eventually form our routine. Most of our routines every day are the same. They might be different every Monday compared to Tuesday, but we're usually well-oiled machines where we do the same things every day. We just don't realize that we're doing them. Just like, for instance, like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have a 7 a.m. class here. That's a habit. Your class schedule is a habit. It's something that is done, as part of your routine. So habits make up our routine.
Cool. Okay. So a habit is something that maybe you could just fall into type of thing. If you always have almost like a routine, a pattern, that kind of becomes a habit.
Yes. Yep. Just like, and then there's obviously good habits and bad habits, and then there's neutral habits. So, a bad habit is laying in bed on your phone for an extra 15 minutes when you could be getting up and doing a stretching routine to get your body moving in the morning. A neutral habit is brushing your teeth. It's something, so taking a shower, brushing your teeth, waking up in the morning, all of those are neutral habits because they're habits of activity of daily living. Like daily hygiene, all of that stuff are considered neutral habits because it's just something that we do as being a human.
Okay, so you've got bad, neutral, good, but how can you start to maybe notice that you've built a bad habit or a good habit or a neutral? Is there kind of like a test that says, you know what, this should be a good habit that I'm doing, or you know what, I've fallen into this bad habit.
So, what I recommend people to do is to list out everything that they do from the second they open up their eyes to the time that they go to sleep.
Hmm.
So, so you open your eyes, you turn off your alarm, you're on Facebook for 10 minutes. Then you get up, you make your bed, you brush your teeth, you shower. All of those things are habits. So you list everything out. So when I started this and I did this, you list out your office time, your 7 a.m. class, your 8 o'clock client, your 9 a.m. class. So all of those things you list out. And then you start to realize that, you're on your phone. You think you're on your phone for 5 minutes. You're really on your phone for 15, 20 minutes while you lay in bed. Hitting snooze 4 times instead of just getting up with your alarm. So all of those things. And then, laying in bed on your phone before you fall asleep is a habit, so that's really where you have to start, is to list out from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, your routine for the day. And like I said, most of us have the same routine every day. It's just a matter of, obviously for me, like my Monday and Tuesday schedule are completely different. So the classes are going to look different in my habit listing. But for the most part, we do the same things every day.
Cool, yeah. So sometimes it's not possible to acknowledge that you've got some sort of habit, but by noting it down, writing your schedule down, writing what it is you do, you can then start seeing patterns, and that's where your habits start to come from.
Right. And that's also how you want to build a new habit. So when you're building a new habit, you want to put it into your already routine. So, for example, let's say you want to start stretching in the morning. You want to start like a mini yoga routine in the morning. So, after you make your cup of coffee, before you turn on the TV to watch the news, you're going to do your little yoga routine. So, you find places in your routine on where you can put your new habits. And you want to start a new yoga routine because it goes with your goal of you want to be more flexible. So it starts with your goals, whatever your goals are. So when we're talking to clients, whether they're business professionals or our clients at our gym, in order to reach our goals, we need habits. Having a goal that you want to lose 20 pounds is great, but what does that journey look like to get there? And yes, you need to eat better, but now we have to talk about the habit of meal prepping and how are we going to start you getting into that habit of meal prepping. And you can tell a client they need to meal prep, but they have no idea what that looks like or where it even fits into their life. And that's how we break it down, as we have them list out their entire routine, and then we start with small steps to form habits, and then eventually it's part of their routine and they're doing it.
So let's say we've listed it. I've been writing down what I do every single step for 2 or 3 days. And I look at the sheet and think, yeah, I don't really have that too many bad habits. Should I give it to a friend or a family member to say, have a look at this? And they will point out, because maybe you're kind of maybe in denial about that you have these bad habits.
Yes, the best person to give it to is your spouse, your partner. If you have just a roommate that lives with you, because they also see what you do every day. So you might not be putting down that you're on your phone for 30 minutes on the couch every night, but they're like, you missed something here. So yes. But most of the time it's, especially as a fitness business owner, it's pretty easy for us to know. Most of us know what our bad habits are, and it's not necessarily getting rid of the bad habits, it's creating new habits to help us reach our goals, and then eventually the bad habits go away. Because if, you want to stretch in the morning or start a new morning routine, you're going to have to put that cell phone down to start a new morning routine. So we form good habits to help get rid of the bad habits.
That's kind of what I had next. How do you stop a bad habit? But you're saying to stop a bad habit, you actually need to come up with a new habit that almost removes the bad habit or gets in the way so you can't do the bad habit type of thing then.
Exactly. So, and we start off with, we talk about routine. So we start off with a morning routine. What do you do in the morning? You don't ever want to come to work to a disaster on your desk or to walk in not knowing what you're doing or still half asleep. So, you need some kind of movement in the morning. So whether or not you're doing like a feel good flow or you're, doing 20 squats and 10 push-ups before you go to the bathroom and brush your teeth and all of that. So, in order to get that done, you
Mm.
can't lay in bed because you can't expand time. So unless you're going to get up earlier so you can, which most people aren't going to set their alarm for 20 minutes earlier so they can still have that 20 minutes in bed to be on their phone. So you're going to eventually not be on your phone as much. And that's what I did with myself. And what I noticed was I was running late to work almost every single morning because I sat in bed on my phone and I couldn't even tell you what I looked at because it's just mindless scrolling.
So we've written this plan, we've seen what we do, what we like, what we don't like, things that we want to implement to create a better habit. And now my life looks dramatically different on paper. Have I gone to the extreme, or should I only be trying to do one habit change every couple of weeks? Or should I just literally go all out attack and just completely change everything?
No, you want to do one habit at a time because what you're doing is you're working at a a goal. So, we usually only conquer one goal at a time unless there's some minor goals in between. So, the first step is to making a habit is you want to make it obvious. So, you want to start with a um start with your current habits and design and look at it, and then you want to design your environment. So what I did, a great example of this was I needed to be more my goal was to be more productive at work. I was a time waster, so I redid my office to make it be more, not necessarily homey, but more productive, more, so I got a bigger desk because my desk was always cluttered. So I felt like I was always organizing and wasting time organizing because I didn't have enough room on my desk. And then, the next thing you want to do is make it attractive. So, you want to do temptation building. You want to pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. So this is, you want to watch the news in the morning. You don't need to watch the news. So, but you need to stretch to be able to get more flexible. And, the more flexible you are, the more energy you have during the day to do business tasks. So, after you make your cup of coffee or cup of tea, you're going to do a 10-minute yoga flow, and then you're going to turn on the news.
Okay.
And, to make it obvious before you go to bed at night, you can put out your yoga mat in front of your TV. So it's already there. So your mind is already triggered to, oh, I need to do that yoga routine before I can do this. And then you want to do it, you want to make it easy. So by putting out that yoga mat, by putting, I walk in every morning, my planner is already open. So I don't need to look for it. It's already planned from the day before. So, I'm making it easy to be productive and to get my things done because A, the day is already planned, and B, my planner's already right in my eyesight for me to be able to do it. But before, it was in my computer bag. So I'd have to take it out. Next thing I know, it was 10 a.m. before I'm taking my planner out. And I just wasted 3 hours of scrolling Facebook.
Yeah, so yeah, this is quite interesting to be honest, because you're not creating new habits, you're changing your environment to stop the bad habits from coming into play. Like you say, if you spend 20 minutes every morning when you wake up on your phone, the habit is you need to break is not being on your phone. So you might leave your phone downstairs. So you have to get out of bed to go and get the phone, which breaks that habit. Is that I'm guessing that's what you're saying, yeah?
Yep, yep, and then, but then, you want to create a better morning routine, so you want to, get up and drink water before you go, drink lemon water, whatever it is, and, get some type of movement in.
That's what
A
I've
lot
got.
of people Yep, a lot of people like to journal in the morning or, listen to a podcast. You wanna do something for yourself in the morning. I myself, I'm here at 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't mind the early morning classes, so I still teach the early morning classes to keep myself in it, but I can't just leave my bed and come to work. I used to do that and I wasn't profitable. I was miserable. So I wasn't profitable, just not in money. I wasn't profitable in life because I
Mm.
was exhausted because I was just, being on your screens makes your eyes tired. So I was waking up tired and then I was making myself even more tired by staring at a screen. So I knew that, I needed to fix something. So I actually read the book Atomic Habits, and that really just changed my entire life and how I coach my clients and how I help my fellow friends that are business owners when they're, in a pinch. Because if I used to live in organized chaos. Well, now my life is very organized and it's, I'm profitable in more areas. Like I said, my home life is better. My personal life is better because I'm not thinking about the gym 24/7 because I have a habit and routine where it's organized and everything flows.
Cool. So someone's watching this and they're thinking, you know what, I actually do need to go out and do a walk every morning before going to the studio or going to my boot camp sessions, do my one-to-one sessions. And day one, it goes well. Day two, it goes well. Day three, it goes well. But on day four, they get a text message from a client saying, I'm not coming in. And then your mind is telling you, well, you've got an extra hour, maybe you don't need to go for that walk. Or you get a phone call or a text message saying, can I do my session earlier? And that then breaks that habit. So I'm saying maybe you do a couple of days, something interrupts that habit. How do you kind of restart that habit and not fall out of this new routine that you've created?
So as long as it's just one day, and it happens, especially when you're building a new habit, and especially as a business owner, when you're building habits to do something for yourself. Because, and it's very popular in the fitness industry, we take care of how many clients a day. We're the last person to get taken care of. So as long as it's one day, the next day just start right over again. And, and that's okay to have a slip in it. It's not going to be very few people can start, the first day and go and just have it be a constant habit and never look back. You're going to have slip ups, but you have to have the mindset of it's okay and then just get right back on track. So now, let's just say, for example, you said, that client wants to come in an hour earlier. Well, now you have an hour after that client. So after that client, make sure you get that walk in because you're still doing the habit. It's just at a different time, but you're not waiting till 5 o'clock that evening. You're just going to do it right at that next possible time that you can do it. Go for that 10-minute walk and then restart your day of what you were supposed to do after that walk.
Cool. So we've looked at environmental factors from stopping you doing your habit, but what about like you wake up, yesterday was a hard day, you've done loads of sessions, loads of consultations, you did a real solid day at work, you wake up, your alarm's just gone off, time to go for a walk, but that voice inside the back of your head's telling you, Julie, nah, just forget about it today, we'll carry on tomorrow. How do you beat that voice? How do you beat that person inside your head telling you, just don't worry about it today?
So this is where we talk about making it satisfying. So we do something called celebration. So even if it's just like a little fist pump in the air, you're giving yourself like, a self round of applause. When you start to celebrate every day that you do those habits, your body is going to crave that celebration. And also, you're pairing your habits, you're stacking your habits to, you can't make that coffee or watch the news or do Sudoku or that crossword puzzle, whatever it else it is that you want to do until you go for that walk. And, that's why we also, suggest starting out writing out your habits that are neutral, negative, and positive, because it kind of makes you come to reality of this is what my life looks like and this is what I need to change. And you also have that goal. And most times you're going to feel a benefit on day one just by making one tiny change. So, you get up that first day and you have that walk, that second day you have that walk, you're going to have more energy throughout the day. That's just natural, right? It's just like when our clients come in and they feel better after day one. And you're going to see how much more you're getting in. And this is, also where journaling can come in. So, you can write about um, your journey of creating habits and start noticing the small changes. And then your mind's not going to win. And of course, you're going to have those days where you're like, it's today's just not the day. And that's fine as long as, just going back also, even if, your day goes haywire and your mind wins, don't let your mind win 2 days in a row.
Cool. Okay, so let's have a little look at what habits you've started to do for the actual fitness business. So we've talked about creating habits, breaking habits, planning your day, conquering all kinds of stuff. But you said you read a book, Atomic Habits.
Mhm.
Your life's gone from organized chaos to organized simplicity. I know you're absolutely flying because you're in the portal and you're telling us about how many sales and everything you're making. So it's going really great. So what are 2, 3, 5, even 10? What are these like massive changes or habits that you've implemented to really see this amazing growth?
So I have set my alarm to go off 15 minutes earlier than normal. So I get up out of bed when my alarm goes off and I make sure that I have 10 or 15 minutes in the morning. So the big thing that I had to do was my phone was no longer my alarm. Because I was turning off my alarm and I was going on Facebook. So now I use an actual alarm. So I turn it off and it has I'm up and I'm getting to work 15 to 30 minutes before my first class starts. So I'm, knocking off, I'm either recording a video, answering an email, or doing something before class starts. I'm turning on a computer, I'm getting the office ready for work. So the big habit was getting off the phone in the morning. And getting up out of bed, doing a little movement flow, and coming to the office and getting everything up and ready. Before I would literally stroll in, 2 minutes before and set up class, and I wouldn't be productive until about 10 a.m. I'm productive before the first class starts. I'm scratching off one minor thing off my to-do list. The other thing is that I talked about is I plan my day, then I plan my week on Sundays, and then I put the next day in my planner beforehand. So like today's Friday, so this is all, and it's out here. It's not in my laptop bag. It's on my desk where I can see it. So that was another, habit, getting my planner out and visible. And I have the I have a way of making sure that everything gets done. So it's more of like creating a habit of using a system. And I make sure that, before I leave here today, I have, put everything. So before I'm allowed to leave on Fridays or the last day of the week, whenever I'm here, I have to update my scoreboards with all of my numbers so I know how good I did this week. And, I know we talk about this in the portal with how many sales you've done this week, making sure that I'm tracking those numbers. Before, what I would do is be like, oh, I have somewhere to be. I'll just do it on Monday. And it never happened on Monday. So I have that. I cannot leave. So I cannot end my week until I do this. So, that's kind of make it obvious and make it attractive. Like I can't start my weekend in my free time until I do this. And that's what you wanted. It's called stacking habits. So I make sure everything is updated and I know, what leads came in, what leads are being followed up next week. Like I have somebody coming in on Tuesday next week. That appointment's already in my agenda for next week. so I know it's happening and I'm not like, who's this random person showing up at my office?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So like you say, it's all about just writing everything down, seeing what's what, and just work your way, chipping away to try and create a better version of yourself, really.
Yeah, and when I go home now, I'm not thinking about what do I have to do on Monday or what didn't I do, or I'm worried about chasing leads because it's all done and I can actually have a day where the gym is not on my mind. Like obviously it's always on our minds, but I'm not working 24/7 because I'm more productive because I'm creating habits to make me be more productive.
Yeah, yeah. So by getting all that done, you can go home and be almost worry less about the studio, the gym, the boot camp, because you know you've got those tasks done.
Yep. Yep. And I'm not, following up on emails on Saturday morning and all of that because I've really created these new habits which take away time from the bad habits. So, before I can do something like read an article just to research like a new idea, I need to make sure that I have 5 videos recorded for this week. So, that was I really wanted to get more videos out. So to get more videos out, they need to be recorded. So, and before I can do something where I'm researching, I'm like into the stock market. So before I can research the stock market, I need to make sure I have 5 videos recorded. So, to get more video, one of my goals was to get more videos out. To do that, you got to make them.
Nice, nice,
You got
nice.
to make
Yeah.
time, and it's all, using your routine to work for you, not against you. So how do I make 5 videos? And, so you have to find time in that routine. And I'm on Facebook less because I'm making videos. So you kind of get rid of, because I know you asked about getting rid of those bad habits that just kind of, the more good habits you form, the less bad habits you're going to have.
Nice. Okay. Anything to finish then? Any final advice or tips or things people should really consider if they want to start implementing this type of thing?
I recommend reading Atomic Habits. It's a very good book if you haven't read it. And start small, start tiny. Don't be your own worst enemy and really just make out that list of your entire routine and figure out where your hangups are, where your wasted time is that you can really use to make your time better served and create those good habits to make yourself be more productive.
Nice, nice. Okay. So if anybody is watching and they wanted to maybe ask you a few more questions or kind of just see how you do these amazing things, how can people kind of reach out and find out a little bit more?
You can always message me on Facebook, or you can email me at Juli, Juli at jmclifestyle.com. That's where all my habit and lifestyle coaching happens.
Perfect. Julie, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on. I'm guessing everybody that's watching now are probably thinking, I need to go and buy that book and see what's what. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it is definitely a game changer. I can tell you it's one of the ways that I've gotten through running a fitness business in COVID is really, getting down those habits and making your time more productive.
Perfect. Julie, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on and we'll speak to you soon.
All right, bye.
Thank you. So that was Juli Colotti on her ideas and her insights into habit building to create success within her own fitness business. And you could really see the difference between some of the habits that she started to implement and install in her own fitness business, start getting the results that she wanted. So my recommendation, go and check out the book Atomic Habits that she was talking about. Plus, if you haven't already subscribed, press subscribe. And also come join us in our free Facebook group. In here, we share even more tips, insights, guides, downloads, and much, much more. Simply click one of the links in the description or search FitPro Lead Gen with Dave and request to join.